Ashe, everyone. This is Innocent Smith, aka the Wellness Witch, and this is going to be a brief summary of where I currently am and what's going on within this particular part of my wellness journey. So, as promised, I told you guys that I was going to be introducing a new series entitled She Trippin', and this is all about personal accountability and witchy wellness and solo travel and sacred plant medicine, right? And those things that are so necessary, at least in my life right now. And I am doing this to also take some responsibility for this business that I founded and where I want to take it, and also how I want to show up for myself first and foremost, but also for the community and for you guys. I think that the time for like all of these games, right? Like all of this, I understand it, but it's just not where my heart and soul is. So like the marketing, right? The very masculine minded marketing that we're used to, and even like the branding and all of this, I mean, at the end of the day, I'll put it to you this way. For me personally, I will like, share, subscribe, follow you, right, if I feel called to. And if you touch something, like if I sense authenticity within you or within your offer. But if it seems spammy, sketchy, pushy, and when I say pushy, I literally mean pushy. Like, just, I'm not going to put myself out there, or my business for that matter, for you to abuse me, for you to abuse my email privileges, for you to abuse like any kind of contact privileges for me, and anything I've already told you ahead of time that I'm not open to, for you to try to abuse that as a potential client, for you to try to have an abusive relationship with me and demand or command my time, which is at a premium. Like, there's certain things that I put out there, and I'm putting that out there as more collective offerings, as things for the community, right? Like, because this is all about like personal well-being, but also community and collective well-being, right? Like, there's levels to this. But to be able to have access to me one-on-one and to have that sort of time, which for me is a big investment, it's a big commitment, it takes a lot, and it also takes me away from the community, from the collective. So if you're going to do that, then you have to be willing to, first of all, and I'm not even talking about just financially, right? But you've got to show up. You've got to show up. If I'm going to show up for you and be fully present and give you and dedicate 100% of my time to you exclusively as a client, then baby, you've got to be willing to do the work, because I'm going to show up and I'm going to do my part and I'm going to hold you accountable. But at the same time, I'm not your taskmaster, right? Like, this is only going to go so far. So it's like, it's a meeting. It's a relationship. It is a mutual relationship where I expect a certain level of respect, and I expect a certain level of accountability. Like, when you show up, I expect for you to show up and you've done your work. Because when I show up for you, I'm going to show up and I'm going to do my work. And baby, when I tell you that I put out, like, I give like nobody's business. But at the same time, I give within my boundaries. I give within what is due. I don't shortchange you, but I don't people please either. So in that sense, and that's part of, this whole journey for me, is getting back to that, because I found over time that I had slipped into that stream of people pleasing and giving too much and stretching myself too thin and giving too much of my time and energy to people and places and things that really didn't deserve it. And then that left a lot of people that did deserve it and that wanted it, right, shortchanged. And I don't feel like that's right. Like, it wasn't right for me to do. And this is like an autocorrect sort of deal. So what am I talking about? Well, right now I am in the process of a personal sacred plant medicine retreat. And for that reason, I will be unavailable professionally speaking, that is, for like the next month. I will be popping in here for you guys, and you will see tidbits from me. I'll be sharing in this series, the She's Tripping series. And it's going to be a very honest, a very authentic sort of, I don't want to call it a documentary because I don't look at it that way, but just a vlog about what's going on, what led me here, how I'm dealing with everything, me processing everything. I will tell you guys afterwards, like more details I will share, that sort of thing. I don't want to disclose too much while I'm in this process of exactly where I'm at, though. I have told you relatively, so you know I'm in Colombia, so that's no secret. But specifically exactly where, I just don't want to disclose that just yet. And thank you for respecting that and respecting my privacy. We also are going to be like really deep diving when we get back into this, right, about just the many pivots of my business and how I'm, working with spirit to shape this container and how to mold it, how to best mold it in a way that it makes sense for me and for the collective. Because it's a very womb-centered, a very soul-centered, a very heart-centered business and offerings, and I want it to reflect as such. Like, I did not just create this out of ego. I was truly led to do this, and it's like my baby, you know what I mean? Like, it means a lot, and sometimes I find myself having to correct where I think it's gonna go because it's so young, it's so new, but it's not. Like, it's a business that I've been in that has been in the works for a while, let's just say it that way. But as my life has shifted personally and professional obligations have shifted, this business also had to pivot and had to shift. So by that I mean this, the witchy, like even putting that into my business name is something that caused me a lot of angst and anxiety for a while, because I'm going to share this and then I'm going to kind of be done because I want to make this quick. I did not always accept that label. I did not. And I'll tell you more about the why not later. But just suffice it to say, I did not always accept that label, so I definitely did not want to put that on my business. Do you know what I mean? And beyond that, it was that I knew that it was very polarizing. I knew that it was going to cause some cognitive dissonance for a lot of people, myself included, initially. And as I said, like, it was something I really had to come to and work through to even accept that. And so now that I have and I fully embrace it, and who knows, like how things are going to play out in the future, I certainly don't. I don't claim to at this point in time, but all in all, I wanted to take that back. Like, I am personally and professionally working on the witch wound and all the hurt and harm that has been done to me personally and professionally from standing my ground and standing on things that were witchy, but I did not claim initially as witchy, or things that, were put out there as voodoo, hoodoo, woo-woo, witchcraft sort of things, and all those things that I had been personally shaped to believe you can't do that. you can't say that, you can't do that, you can't think like that, you can't move like that, you can't talk like that, you can't walk like that. All the do nots, right? All of that. And I'm honestly letting you guys know that I accepted that. And I did those things for a long time. But, baby, nope. No. And although I've been rejecting a lot of that for a long time, it has taken me quite these many moon cycles to unpack all of that and to get through that. Because when I tell you guys like that, it's not surface level. And it's not something to just, easily brush your shoulders off or just easily dismiss when you've been indoctrinated to reject all of that. So anyway, that's as far as I want to go with that. Other than that, I just want to say that I love you and I will be keeping you guys updated. So have a beautiful, blessed day. And if this work calls to you, trust your instincts, right? You're so worth it. You're always worth it. I love you to the moon and back. Ashe. Until next time. Peace and blessings.